Welcome back to the Self Awareness Challenge 365. This is day six. Day six is a tough one. Day six is a work in progress. Day six is about evaluating your failures. And I got this from Napoleon Hill in one of his books. He talks about how much value, and I'm paraphrasing, how much value we can get from analyzing our failures. And I think sometimes we just fail and we don't look at why. We don't look at what we can learn. We don't look at what we can do differently. We fail and move on. And I think that it's important to move on very quickly, but it is important, equally as important, to evaluate what happened. What can we learn from the failure? And sometimes we just don't take the time to analyze why we failed, and then how we can move more intelligently, or more, better the next time. And so this, you can do this several ways, right? You can take you can take the top 10 failures that you've had, or you can brainstorm all of your failures on a piece of paper, and then you can start to evaluate them one at a time, or you can take the top 10 failures and start breaking it apart and looking at what you did, what happened, what you could have done, how you can do it better next time. What did you learn? And so you will start to see, the more failures you evaluate, you will start to see patterns of why you do the things you do, and it will help you to do it better next time. I know that nobody wants to fail, right? And it's tough to fail. We just have this innate ability. We think that it's going to work out the first time, or the first 10 times, or the first 20 times. We just think it's going to work. And I think we should, right? We should expect it to succeed. We should expect it to work. We should expect whatever we're trying to do to us to be able to do it. However, most things take time, and it's because it works on us. The thing has to change us. We have to be different. We have to learn and grow. We have to make some changes in our attitudes, our behaviors, our thoughts, before things will work out. Because sometimes we get a thing too quick and we can't appreciate it. We get arrogant, right? We think that it was all about us. It was us, and anybody with has lived any amount of time knows that typical things require a team. Things don't just work out because of us. Typically, it's because of other people, and typically a lot of other people. Whether they're praying, whether they're helping out, whether they're giving advice, whether they're whatever it is. But typically, we're not doing things on our own in seclusion. Typically, things are happening because there are a lot of people involved. There's a lot of hands involved. There's a lot of minds involved. There's a lot of prayers involved. And so evaluate the failures. And like I said, for me, it has taken me time. It has not been a 1 day assignment and then walking off. No. It has been just coming back to it, and looking at each failure. And so it is important that you don't skip this day. If you are going to be more self-aware of how you do things, why you do things, when you do things, all the things, you got to stop and look at your failures. To me, it's a gold mine. There's a lot of things that we can learn from failing. There's a lot of things we can learn because we have failed so many times. And it's important that we start again. We learn and we grow, we get better, we evaluate the lessons. We say, okay, this is what, okay, I can do this better. This is what I learned. And then tell other people, help other people. Don't just keep it to yourself. It wasn't just for you. But be realistic about failing. It is a part of the process. No one is achieving success on the first time. No one. We're all failing. We're all learning. We're all having to keep growing, keep getting better. But we got to look at it. We got to look at why we fail and what we can do better next time. What did we learn from this failure? So that's what today is about. It's about doing it one or two ways. You can brainstorm all of your failures on a piece of paper, and then one at a time go through each failure and just analyze it, like top to bottom, flip it over on the side, all the different things. Just look at it, come back to it over and over again. Or you can take your top 10 biggest failures and look at them one at a time and evaluate them on a piece of paper. And don't miss this day, because there's a lot of things that we can learn. There's a lot of treasure troves in the failures. We can keep from making so many mistakes if we just learn and grow from each thing that we're going through instead of wasting the experience. So just evaluate what happened with your failures. And it is eye-opening, at least it has been for me, with the things that I've learned about the things that I failed at. And I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly learning. And this is an important step. It's an important day. So this is Self-Awareness 365. This is just day 6. So evaluate your failures. If you got to take weeks or months to do this, just keep going. Keep going through the days, but let this be one day that you just kind of keep working on. Let it be cumulative. Don't just let it be one day, because more than likely none of us can evaluate our failures in one day. It's going to take some time, but you're going to learn a whole lot about yourself when you start to look at why you failed in the past.